Today I'm gonna show you a spooky card. Well, not so spooky. It's a Halloween card that I made. It looks like this. It says trick or treat, and it has two pumpkins and a little spider in a white web, or actually it's more silvery. I don't know if you can see, but silvery. And on the back side it just looks like that with a stamp there. And I'm gonna tell you how to make this card. First I started with a square orange paper. Let me see how big this one is. Of course I have this one the wrong side. It's 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters, but you can take any size you want as long as it's square. And I cut this corner with scalloped cutter, so they are wavy. It's not really scallop, it's more wavy, I guess. Yeah, wavy. And then I took some, that's the base card. Then I took some black paper and I cut the sides of the black paper with deckled scissors. So that's how I got these sides of this card, the black card. Then to get this spider web, I took Fiskars texture plates, and this is called webbing, and I put it through my Big Shot. And first you need to make it wet, so sprinkled some water on it with a mini mister so it becomes wet, this black paper. Then put it on, make a sandwich, run it through the Big Shot or a Cuttlebug. I'm not sure about the Cuttlebug, but I think they should work just as fine. At least the Big Shot works great with these Fiskars texture plates. So that's how I got this webbing. It is a little bit pop-up. If you start to feel it, you feel that they are popping up. But I wasn't happy with a black spider web on a black card, so I wanted it to be white. But I didn't have white color at home, but I happened to have some acrylic paint. I thought this was white, but when I got home it says Universal Metallic, so it's more like silver or metallic. It does look a bit white, but it's more like silver, but it says metallic. But when I bought it, it looked white, and I just was in a hurry, so I thought, okay, that's sort of white. And the thing you have to do with this, when it's acrylic paint, you will actually need some, let me see if I pronounce this right, parchment paper. You will take some parchment paper, the same kind of paper you take when you bake stuff in the oven, and you will take your brayer, and I sprinkled on with my mini mister some water drops, and then I put on a little bit of this, what was it called again? Acrylic paint, yeah. And then I took with my brayer and went like this, so the paint mixed up with the water, and I tried to get it nice, not in thick layers, just a really thin layer of color, mix it up with water on this brayer. So you just do like that, and then you carefully take the thing you have, and you carefully go over it like this to get the color. And as you can see, some places when it's not so much popped up, you might get some transfer on the background as well, but mostly it stayed on these popped up parts. So that's how I got this effect on the webbing, that it became metallic and not black. And then I just let it dry overnight. And one thing, when you have make them with the Big Shot, make sure you leave them to dry, because they are a bit wet after you have gone through the Big Shot. You get a deeper impression that way, but when they are wet, don't do this with the brayer, because you will smear the color all over the paper. So let them dry, and then when they are ready and these pop-ups are more stiff and more easier to handle, then you will go with the color. So let them dry first. You could press much harder with this, then you get more color outside the webbing, as you can see here. One became pretty bad. I don't know if it's nice or bad. It's more, I don't know. I like these more that don't have so much smearing outside the webbing, but this one has a charm as well, I guess, that you could see. This one that totally silvery like that, but it is a bit cool, I suppose, depending on what effect you want. If you want more like this, have a thin layer and gently press. If you want more rough and more like this, then press harder. And that's how I got that one. I glued them on together, the orange and the black. Then the little spider there, he's glittery. He's actually very, very soft because he has some flock on him. And the way I made him was I took my Fiskars punch and I punched out 1 inch circle and I put some double-sided tape on it. This is really thin. You have to peel away this one, and I just made the whole little circle I made with double-sided tape. Then I took some flock. I think it's called flock. This is black glittery flock, €1.50, and this is by Udo. And then I just sprinkled all over this, and I with my finger tapped on the flock, and then I just cut out the excess of the double-sided tape, and then I just have this little itsy bitsy spider that sparkles, and he's really soft. He has this flock, so he feels like fabric because he's really softy. And then his eyes are just doodle eyes, googly eyes, whatever you call them, googly eyes, doodle dots eyes, I don't know, eyes that moves, and I just glue them on as well. His legs are actually a little bit popping up, as you could see. They are not so flat, they are kind of popping up, and that is actually made with pop-up line color. I think this is meant for when you have socks and you don't want to fall or trip with the socks. You put this underneath the socks and you don't fall. It's like resistant. It doesn't, oh, I don't remember the word for it now. I'm sorry, I'm so terrible with words. But you won't fall with this underneath your socks. You let it dry for 24 hours. It works on fabric, paper, wood. So I just took this on the paper so it pops up. So if you feel like this, it is rubbery. It feels like you want it's a bit, it's not slippery. So, but I just wanted a pop-off effect for that. So that's the legs for the spider with this, made for fabric. But I put them on here. And then these little pumpkins here are actually a very cheap stamp that I bought last year. It is, I think it was called 50 cents or something. You get a red, or this is re-inked, so you get a red impression of this red stamp. I could just fast show you. You just get a red like that. I pressed it on orange paper, so this line became visible. It became more, it looked like red on the orange paper. And then I took a normal black gel pen and I drew the mouth black and I drew the eyes black and the little dot up there and his nose, and then I made just 2 small dots underneath his eyes. I don't really know why, I just thought it would look nice. So that's the original, and that's how they turn out on orange paper. And then after they dried, you can see that they shimmer a little bit, and they are shiny because I used Glossy Accent. I love Glossy Accent. I really recommend it for everybody. So then I just put some Glossy Accent on, and that's how I got them to be more plastic. And then I just put double-sided dimensional tape underneath them and glued them on here, and underneath that there's a ribbon, a bow or ribbon, and that is this kind of ribbon. I had some black as well with white dots, but I thought it would look good with some orange. Then this little trick or treat, it's orange paper. As you can see, it has some texture on it because I used a paper crimpler. These are easy crimpler, this was pretty cheap. I have the same pattern at my Big Shot as well, but I thought since I had it here I would use the paper crimp. You just you close it like that, put the paper, and you roll these so it comes out on the other side. And that's how you get the impression. These are cheap and works pretty well, I think. So that's how I got the pattern, if you can see. The sides here I cut out again with a deckled scissors, and they are a little bit black because I used some black Sot by Distress Ink, and I went around the corners getting some black colors on that. And the stamp that says Trick or Treat is actually from Inka Dinka Doo, and that's that stamp. And this set is called Creepy Crawly. Creepy Crawly. And that's the stamp that I put in black. And I put again some dimensionals underneath so it would pop out a little bit. I put also dimensionals on this spider so he would also pop out a little bit. And that's pretty much how I made this card. Glue everything together, and on the back side I had this really cute Halloween themed stamp, and that's also by Inka Dinka Doo, that stamp. And this is called Trick or Treat. And that's pretty much how I made this card. It was pretty easy and fun, and I really like the background here, how it turns out. And depending on how much force you put to it, you will get different variations of the webbing, as you can see here. So if you have any question, let me know. And thank you for watching, and have a great Halloween. Bye bye, see ya!